Hey, I'm Kev Kim. Welcome back to MotoGP 19 and the MotoE Championship as we're qualifying for the second round in Misano, the fourth round overall as we enter the second half of the season, and that is not going to be a good e-pole lap. As once again we stormed a victory in the first race. Another pretty decent battle as well for the lead and for the win. So if we can do it again, as we've taken the lead in the championship, and then put away a bit before we head to Valencia. The last two rounds of the season has a bit more gloomy. This e-pole session. Then we've got the clouds overhead. Hopefully that doesn't mean rain's coming. No doubt it's a very sloppy hairpin. You definitely go much better than this lap so far. Got to be careful on acceleration. We took a bit of a wide line there. Try and carry some speed towards the apex. And now we go to fearsome right-handers. I know we made you there for the first one. There's a bit all over the place in the third. Bit wide in the fourth as well. This is a corner where we do pretty well, this penultimate corner compared to our opponents. And the final corner as well. As we got kind of towards the apex, as we rush towards the line, it's going to be a bit slow though. As Mike DiMeggio on pole with a 40 flat ahead of Granado and De Angelis, and we've got Salvadori, Raffin and Hook on the second row. Good qualifying for the Australian, De Pugno, 4-8 and Ferrari. As once again we're in 10th, leading the fourth row ahead of Jebinal and Simon. And you've got Garzo, Canepa and Tyrone, and on the back row it's Tudi, Herrera and Castadelli. So you're revving up for the second fun race round the Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli has another 8 lapper, and it's another poor start as well compared to everyone. It's already dropping down way outside the top 10. Got to be a bit aggressive maybe into these first couple of corners. So someone's not liking it on the Premac. So that is. So I have no idea where the bike is going. I got it into the back of the Avintia. We've been pushed down to 14th now. There's Ferrari back with the Pugno. Let's get over to the and Garzo trying to get back into the top 10 on this back straight. He's going like 3 wide into the braking zone yet. Got Shetta Jibba now behind us, De Pugno as well. There's Hook and Foray in front, battling over Sith, while we can just try and sneak by the inside. As he almost getting to the back of De Angelis. How about that for an exit past the Premac? Down the inside into the top 5 of the home hero. Betchanax De Angelis. Braking early, making sure we get into that third right-hander. And then into the hairpin right behind Raffin as all pushed slightly wide. Well, De Angelis, hello. How you doing? Let's look for a battling over 7. We've got Tudi into the points. We come to the end of the lap. Top 3 in front, you can see. Up to 16th as the fin dropping towards the back. There's Granado, DiMeggio, Raffin, Smith, De Angelis, Salvadori, Hook, Foray, De Pugno and Ferrari round out the top 10. We've got Canepa, Jebinal battling over 14. We've got Herrera battling over 12 as well. Savio someone into the top 10 there with De Pugno. And Ferrari up to 8th. With a Foray. Look at Jebinal getting ahead of Garza now for 13th. But he's got a great run onto the back straight. So we reviewed the first 3 races of the season, and 3 very different races, very good races as well for MotoE. The 4th race again was a bit calmer than the first one, but still throw up the odd surprise. Let's try and get past the DiMeggio hit. As he got past Raffin into the hairpin. As once again he had Alex De Angelis on pole. But once again, Axel just crashed out of the race. Shocking pair of races for him on home turf when he was expected to do much better, the veteran. It's all a bit wide there. It's a bit better into the right-hander. So once again, it was that man Matteo Ferrari winning it all. That's all. You don't look into the final corner, Kev. Do get a good exit though. It's going to be under the 40 barrier. And once again at the front, apart from Ferrari, you had Hector Garza in second. In a cracking battle for the podium. Like, Ferrari was slightly away from everyone. But in behind, you had the likes of Garzo, Canepa, Castadelli, Miorero as well. All battling for that podium spot. It's all Davide get down the inside of D'Ameglio. Not quite. And he also had Granado. It was slightly off. After a poor qualifying again, he was down like in 15th, but once again he was battling his way through the field. So you go up to second of the Mark VDS, the Salvador into the top 5 ahead of De Angelis, or not. They go fully flat, fully committed on this occasion. What the hell is that line magic, Mike? He was hoping for a miracle there. He's going to get that to work. But yeah, fantastic battle for second, went right to the final lap. Garzo won that battle, got a consecutive second place as well, and MotoGP really underlining that he's one of the quickest guys in the MotoE Championship, along with Ferrari, who's got a double at his home circuit as well. Brilliant job from the Italian to not just take the championship lead, but extend it a bit towards into Valencia, give him a bit of a cushion compared to everyone else. In that battle for the final podium spot, in the end, I said Castadelli. Remember, he got taken out by Tuli in that first race along with Bradley Smith. Well, he recovered brilliantly to take the final podium spot. Just ahead of fellow Italian, Canepa and Mia Herrera, who at times looked like she was getting that podium spot. But in the end, just ran out of, not really pace, just didn't quite. When the battles happened, she was maybe just in the wrong place with the battle for the podium right at the end. As they got overboard by Castadelli. The overall Canepa after having a bit of a battle with Garzo. And Garzo definitely perhaps the best of the rest by Matteo Ferrari, at least in race trim. But yeah, superb job from Herrera to get a top 5 after she deserved it in the first race, didn't quite get it. And after a poor weekend in the Saxon Ring, scored no points. As totally missing the braking point. Had to slow it to a crawl as he headed into the second half of this race. And yeah, behind Herrera, Granado, the Brazilian with great ride through the field again. But this time without a mistake. Again, one of those guys that is very quick in Moto and what could have been for his season. As he's definitely kind of out of the championship battle then. After Misano, into Valencia. As wrapping it up to third head of D'Ameglio. And behind him, he did have Jessica Raffin in 7th. Solid weekend for the Swiss rider. After not really doing much in the Saxon Ring. And behind them, you had Bradley Smith, another poor race for the Brit. Could have been doing this, but just for some reason just didn't quite have the pace really. And he was actually batting for his highest sixth with Granado and Raffin, but lost out to them in the end. He wasn't very consistent that time wise. Like one lap he was like a couple of things off the pace. I'm not sure if he was just making mistakes, but again, a guy in the championship battle who just didn't take away too many points from Misano, just like Granado and D'Ameglio. He did finish the second race, but was down in 10th was Mike. As he got held up at the start, there was a big crash for Xavier Simon in that sector out of his fabled turn 2 in the first race. Well, in the second race it treated him poorly on the opening lap. Flipped the bike, was in the middle of the track. Great avoidance from D'Ameglio, but it did cost him a couple of places at the start and he never really quite recovered from that. In the end, finished behind Nicolas Terol, who once again got a top 10 finish, 3 out of 4 for the Spaniards. Yeah, for D'Ameglio, that first race really did cost him the bike issues. As he's up to 3rd in this race though, ahead of Raffin or not. And behind ahead of Lorenzo Salvadori. They're taking the defensive line, even though we're a second ahead. And then Josh Hook, Randy Depernier, Kenny Foray as well. Tooney didn't start as the season ended after that first race hit. There were only 17 starters. And apart from Xavier Simon, of course Alex Anges as well going down. You had Sete Gibernal crash out. Actually onto that back straight before the 3 right-handers. Raffin in Salvador batting on. And here comes Simon up to 8th of 4, a decent battle to Belgium. And the Italian as well, up to 4th now. As we got onto bottom of the lap of the race. So yeah, a bit disappointed for Sete because he was set for another top 10 finish, but you had that crash and just crashed out of the race. So into the final round in Valencia is definitely Matteo Ferrari's championship. It's crazy how much Misano kind of decided the championship, really, those 2 races. Very crazy, lots of fantastic battling though. Quite a few crashes. Like, I know it's a tough circuit, maybe expected 1 or 2, but not like the first race, having 5 riders retire. Maybe more like the second race where we had 3 retirements. And then upset podium, get his like Castadelli as well. Superb to see from the Italian, and superb podium for the home fans as well, having a couple of Italians on the podium in that second race. And yeah, Ferrari the only front runner consistent, like Xavier Simon, 1 podium crash, D'Ameglio 1 top 10 crash or retirement due to his bike, Brady Smith with a crash and just lack of pace, getting 1 top 10, 1 top 10 for Granado after poor qualifying in the second race. That's basically been done in the first race as well, where he also went down. We just kept it clean. You were getting a decent result in these races, and not many riders did, really. As to make it ahead of Granado as we go into the final. Now it's getting a bit closer at the front. As Salvador up to 3rd ahead of Granado now. And then, of course, Tooney, the winner of the first race in Sachsenring, out for the season after his crash in the first race. So you did see kind of underrated riders like Mira Herrera come to the fore in Misano. Also Canepa as well, the Italian, with a couple of top 5 finishes. Jesco Raffin for 4th and 7th as well. Not riders you really talk about, but performed very well around it. And so next time we've only got the 2 Valencia rounds to go in this season. And it looks like Brad Smith going to win 3 in a row. And that's what Brad Smith had to do in the final round of Valencia. Basically win both races and hope Ferrari kind of messed up. Same for Granado as well, even though, as I said, he's perhaps a bit too far back, the Brazilian. The same for Demeglio, Xavier Simon, 2. But I hope you enjoyed these races around Misano. I really definitely have, as in it's like we're going to copy to a Ferrari, do the double, and make it 3 wins in a row out of 4. As in it's like Brailsford's got one hand on the MotoE World Cup crown after another dominant display in Italy. So we're on by over a second, fastest up by a country mile ahead of Granado and Demeglio, who rounds out the podium just by a 10th ahead of the Italian Salvadori, and they've got Rafa around at the top 5 by just a third attempt back, and then just a couple of tenths ahead of De Angelis, Hook, Simon, Fore and Ferrari. Then we've got Tapune, Herrera, Garzo, Gibernal and Canepa, rounding out the point scores ahead of Tyrrell, Tudi and Castadelli. To enter the final 2 rounds of the season in Valencia, we lead by 8 points ahead of Granado and 13 points ahead of Demeglio. It's only us 3 really battling for the title. And then we've got Salvador up 3 places to 4th, level on points with Raffin and 4 points ahead of Josh Hook. Sapone up down a couple of places. De Angelis up a couple of places ahead of Simon, with Jimmy rounding out a top 10 now ahead of Ferrari. We have a gap to Herrera's up 3 places, along with Garzo's up 3 places. Down a couple is Castadelli, down 1 is Canepa, and down 3 is Nicholas Tyrrell, has Nicky Tudi with only 4 points. So next up, we'll be heading to Valencia for the last 2 rounds of the season. And of course, recapping the MotoE rounds there as well in real life and the whole season too. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.